let you guys know, the dean actually asked the possibility of her getting elected, well, appointed or elected again. And I said, well, after all this stuff, and I actually talked to the dean about all the stuff I just told you guys, and he's kind of, you know, like what's going on too. So he's going to go investigating that too. And I told him what I was going to do, and he's not going to fight me on it because we have the right to keep someone from being appointed or whatever. But I would also like to advise the chairs of whatever committee you know to not appoint Dana Rose as an A.S. Senate member, because you guys have the power to appoint. If you guys do, I'm just letting you know, I will be the one, being that I'm the Chair of Judicial, me and my committee will put that on the agenda to remove her from that position, because I feel that she does not belong in this A.S. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that.
Dana Rose, do you have any comment on this while we're in discussion?
Yes. You know, I first heard this. I really don't even recall saying any of some of the stuff somebody's saying. I remember the particular thing when Sarah said that I said things about her, I didn't even remember. I thought somebody must have forged that. So the day that I did this, it was the day that I knew that Ozzy Shirazi and her friend had sneaked over to that meeting over at wherever that was. And I was pretty steamed because actually Denise had chewed me out about something. I'd had a private conversation on the telephone with somebody, and because I was talking with somebody on the phone and she chewed me out about that, so that was something that set me off, and that was a late night thing. I did that at midnight, and I was really fried. And then the next one I had done was on a Sunday. I had actually intended to actually delete those, but I wasn't sure how to do that. So I'd left those up for way too long. I do apologize. As I say, I'm hearing all this stuff that I supposedly said. I don't even remember it. The only thing I remembered ever saying was anything against Ozzy Shirazi, and I was totally messed up those on that Friday and on that Sunday. And that's all I can say. And I didn't really have a chance to contact Blog Talk Radio to find out how to delete the programs. I was trying to get them off the air. And no, I don't actually think I'm worthless or a horrible person. But you know what? At that particular point where I had been pretty much I would felt very upset then, because I really had felt very marginalized and very alone. I don't think you know what that feels like. I mean, you've just, on the day that all the senators in the fall were inducted, Ethan, my guts were on the floor. You know, you gave David a round of applause and said, oh, thank you for your service. You also did the same thing for the senators that were outgoing a couple weeks ago. You didn't do that for me. You kind of left me to rot. And I was feeling like I was just left all alone to pretty much perish. You didn't seem to really have any kind of sensitivity to that. And a lot of other people did not seem to have sensitivity to that. And the kind of thing Ozzy Shirazi put me through, I went through hell. Denise was ignoring what was going on. She and Shireen and Anton Zavella would ridicule me almost all the time, and Denise ignored it. She wasn't paying attention to it. It was like a nightmare for me. And I remember on one day I told you, Ethan, my head is splitting open, and you acted in a very cavalier way. You didn't do anything about it. You didn't seem to care. Nobody seemed to care. So that was coming out of that kind of pain. As I say, that was months ago, and I definitely should have removed those, because that was not exactly what I want to represent me or anything, or my public image either. Because I really did want to remove those. I wasn't sure how to do it. So that's all I got to say. I have got to apologize. I don't remember saying anything about Michelle. I don't remember insulting Sarah. I don't remember saying that. I really don't. I don't have any memory of doing that. That was just popping off or something. I really don't.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Ethan, did these senator appointments need to be voted on?
Yes.
All right, in the interest of keeping the meeting from turning into a talk show and all these personal rivalries and whatnot, why don't we take it to a vote, let the vote speak, and that be done?
Well, then, that is fine. The motion, that is true. Unless somebody else has something to say, the motion on the floor is to move 3 names to Senate, to urgent business. Jovan is basically objecting to that or discussing removing something, Dana Rhodes' name. So I guess you would have to ask Adrian to amend that, motion if that is what you're wanting to do. No, or we can vote, or we'll vote on the motion to move all 3 names to urgent business.
And then vote on the senators, right?
Well, we haven't amended it yet, right now.
Right now, the motion on the floor is to move all 3 names to urgent business.
But to amend it, it's a privileged motion, so I can, right, that motion's still on the floor, I can still amend it, so that's why I said I moved to amend this motion to remove Dana Rose Crystal's name from the urgent business.
So right now, the vote is whether.
Need a second.
I think it should have a second motion. I mean, I think though it can't be the person, it has to be the person who made the motion.
So if Adrian doesn't want to change his
Who
motion,
hardly amended, from my understanding.
if Adrian doesn't want to change his motion, then we would continue on. Adrian, do you want to amend
After
it?
removing the names during business, what's gonna happen, they automatically became,
No, then we vote on
then we
it.
will vote. So I guess we should move all the names and then vote. Can we do that?
That's what, you're going with the motion on the floor, so.
Well,
That's not how it goes, but that's fine, go ahead.
yeah, I still move.
Okay. Then we are still in discussion.